Welcome to the Positive Change Methods podcast with me, Andy Smith. Each episode will bring you tips, practical change formats, and new perspectives to make your life and work better right now, drawn from Appreciative Inquiry and related approaches. This episode is brought to you by the Practical Appreciative Inquiry Facilitator Training. Let me show you how to get started using Appreciative Inquiry confidently with teams and small groups. The next live online course starts soon. You can find the details and how to book your place at coachingleaders.co.uk. Okay, let's get started. Episode 11, the 5D format. Where do we start with implementing Appreciative Inquiry? Let's take a look at the most widely used format for structuring an Appreciative Inquiry process. It's not the only format available, but it is the default one for Appreciative Inquiry. And it certainly is user-friendly as any other format, so it's the one I normally use. The overall aim of the 5D cycle, like any Appreciative Inquiry process, is to discover, build on, and refine the positive core of the organization or team. By the positive core, we mean the organization's knowledge, best practices, successes, and strengths, as well as the aspects of its history, present experience, and imagined future that make people proud to feel part of it and motivated to work there. At the same time, participating in a 5D process strengthens understanding and trust between people. A 5D process bringing together everyone involved in the change in one room can be completed in as little as half a day, although that's pretty tight. I'd prefer to have at least a short day from, say, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The format is carefully designed to keep participants focused on the positive and to liberate their creative thinking. What's more, each stage in the process psychologically primes participants to be open to and ready for the next stage. The high-level structure of the process is the same, whether the inquiry is an organization-wide project that takes years or a brief one-to-one coaching session. The aim is always to discover, strengthen, and build on the best of the organization, the elements that give life to it, that people are proud of, that motivate them, and which give rise to exceptional performance. You may also encounter a 4D version of the model, which leaves out the definition stage. In some books on AI, you will see the delivery stage referred to as destiny, although I believe in most organizational settings, people will find it easier to relate to delivery as a term relevant to business. I've also seen deploy used in some case studies. There are other formats for Appreciative Inquiry, for example the Mohr-Jakobsgaard 4I model, but the 5D or 4D format is the most widely used. Definition. The first task in Appreciative Inquiry is to define an affirmative topic or topics for the inquiry. This determines the area to be inquired into and sets a direction for what is to be achieved. How do we achieve the desired outcome? Is a practical format for stating the affirmative topic. In the next chapter, we'll look in detail at the characteristics of a good affirmative topic and how to flip a problem statement into one. This would also be the stage where you plan your Appreciative Inquiry process, get your steering group together if you're engaging in a large-scale AI implementation, decide who will be involved, and define the questions for the first appreciative interviews. Discovery. In this stage, we inquire into people's best experiences in relation to the topic, times when people felt alive, engaged, and worthwhile, and when they produced great results and achievements to be proud of. We can also ask what's important to people about these experiences to discover the values that motivate them, and the factors that made these examples of exceptional performance possible. The appreciative interview format is the method most often used to uncover this information. We'll be going into depth on how to conduct appreciative interviews in the Discovery chapter. Dream. Next, the people involved in the inquiry, ideally in a large-scale project, everyone in the organization, plus representatives of outside stakeholders, co-create a dream vision of the organization's ideal future, without limiting themselves, at this stage, with concerns about whether it's possible or how to get there. The aim is to define a positive image of the future so that the organization is inspired to grow towards it. and to open new possibilities for action that are not constrained by assumptions which may have led to existing problems. The key question here is not what will the future be, but what will it be like? To encourage creative and metaphorical thinking at this stage, so that we can break free of the previous patterns of thinking that led to current problems, we ask participants to create some kind of artistic representation of the desired future. It's worth noting that it's easier for participants to agree on a high-level metaphorical vision than it is to reach a consensus on exactly what the details of the vision should be. Design. Once the dream vision is outlined, we can now develop options for bringing it, or at least parts of it, into reality. This may involve redesigning structures, processes, and information flows within the organization so that it becomes capable of supporting the vision. At a team or individual level, the design stage may be more about generating ideas for possible actions that can take us closer to the dream. We're not asking participants to commit to any of the ideas at this stage so they can be as wild and creative as we want. Delivery, or destiny. In this stage, participants commit to taking the actions they've selected from the design stage in order to make the dream happen. Depending on the scale of the project, this could involve formal action planning, or it could just be about making some small changes immediately. This stage is also about actually implementing the selected changes, identifying target dates to achieve them, and about learning from the experience of implementation. Reviewing. We can also use the Discover, Dream, Design, Deliver parts of the 5D cycle to review progress. We can discover what worked and what didn't, update our dream with our new learnings, design ways of dealing with whatever problems showed up, and deliver those improvements. There's one more thing I need to say about the 5D cycle. It isn't a linear process where you can only go one way. It's more like a roadmap or guide that shows you where you are at any point in the process. For example, once you've discovered the best of what's currently working, you might want to go back to definition to refine your affirmative topic in the light of new information. Or maybe, when you've created your dream vision of the desired future, you might want to go back to discover where parts of that dream are already happening, even if they're only happening partially or occasionally. Putting the 5D format into action. You're the expert on your own job or business, so how might you use the 5D format for A. Preparing for and structuring a team meeting, B. Structuring a coaching session, one-to-one or group? Now that we've got our overall format for structuring the appreciative inquiry process, in the next few episodes we'll take a deep dive into how each stage works, starting with the definition stage. Thanks for listening to the Positive Change Methods podcast with me, Andy Smith. You can find the show notes at positivechangemethods.com. Please like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you like this episode, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you can review it. See you next time.